Hello there, fellow metallurgists. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Frostlands, episode 75, The First Steel. It's funny, at night I can check whether my bricks are done, whereas during the day I can't, because at night, you know, I can see very clearly, oh, okay, yeah, it's still illuminating. There's still active fires. Whereas during the day, it's totally impossible to tell. So it looks like you guys want me to make a run for bauxite after this. Copy that. I do have to be a little mindful of this hammer. I don't have a spare hammer at the moment. I don't think I'm going to be sent back to the Stone Age, even if I don't have another hammer, because we have plenty of material to make a hammer, but my hammer is about a third worn out already. Yeah, I have tier 1 armor. I mean, it's not great. I figured I wasn't gonna bother with a gambeson, considering I'm about to make steel armor, so I made the leather jerkins that will eventually go underneath my chainmail, and a leather helmet as a stopgap measure for now. Which is nice. That way when I'm up against random drifters or like animals, I'm less likely to get ganked. I should have done this a while ago, to be honest. I just never did. So we're about to get another daybreak. -15, pretty chilly. And there we go. That is all the ingots I need for the next batch of steel. But while the wind's going and I'm holding blooms, I intend to just keep going so that I don't get screwed in the future and go, oh god, now I need iron blooms worked and I don't have any wind power. Oh crap, that was a misclick. Not a fatal one though. There will be plenty of iron voxels to fill in that hole. Does leather armor help with the cold? No. In fact, armor, I think, does never help with cold. Like, it doesn't have any insulation properties ever. So if you take a look at, like, plate armor, you know, there's no temperature controls on armor of any type. So the concept in this game is you've got clothing that goes underneath your armor. So they're like different layers, if you will. Which is kind of lucky, because with my map and settings, if that wasn't the case, I'd have to choose between hypothermia and being protected, which would be tough. But layers, man. I can dress in layers. Would it be simple to make a second forge to heat blooms faster? I mean, I certainly could. I just don't think it would save me a lot of time, because you'd have a lot of blooms sitting, being heated that don't require hammering, right? Like, this almost is fast enough. So, like, let's say this is 80% of the speed I need it. So bringing it up to 160% of the speed I need it wastes a lot of fuel. So I could, undoubtedly, but I just don't think it's worth the fuel costs. You have to consider for the... If I did do that, and this is sort of how my brain works. If I did do that, I might save myself, let's say, a few minutes. But for the fuel I burned, then I would have to spend those minutes mining coal again. So in the long run, it probably doesn't ultimately save me all that much time, because then my fuel costs go up. Oh, speaking of fuel costs, and I have to spend time mining anthracite instead of just waiting for blooms to heat up. So the bloom's finished, and fortunately I noticed had a pretty good time, which means these guys are nice and hot and ready to be worked. Saves me a whole bunch of time. And when you put blooms down, it averages out the temperature, so I can like keep the whole stack hot pretty easily. By superheating one and then mixing it in with the others. A little strange, but if it works. So I think I'm going to go up to what, 38 blooms if I work everything that can be worked. I'm mostly concerned about getting myself to the 32 mark, which is 2 full batches. Anything past that is just extra iron for tools and the like, but I have so much meteoric. I have, what, 21? Yep, 21 meteoric that I don't really need the extra iron for tools and tool replacements. Maybe I can try to heat up the entire stack like this. Constantly bringing... No, it's too much thermal mass. It's not going to really work like that. Make myself a meteoric iron helmet? Well, I intend to make a steel helmet, so I could, but it would only work 10% of the time. It's a lot of work and a lot of material for a 10% chance to mitigate, in my opinion. I must say, this wind has really cooperated, though. It has not really faltered at all. Oh, this is pretty cold. Let's hammer it quick. It put my required steel ingots below 3 batches. Yeah, if I don't use... Well, okay, I see your point now. Going for steel chest and pants, but only a meteoric iron helmet. In that case, yeah, I can absolutely see the bone benefit. The caveat, of course, is that I already have an iron door. I can't undo that. That would have had to be a choice to be made prior to committing to the second project, and the second project got voted on, so that's a very reasonable thing to do if I hadn't already started the work towards getting a full set. Yeah, second furnace is still a good idea. True. My clothing is still holding up. Gloves and boots are still fully insulating, even though they're the most worn out pieces, which is good. I think for your sanity and my time, I'm only going to work myself to 32 iron and leave the rest as blooms to be processed. Because I don't need it, necessarily. Oh, what the hell? You just put slag back. I saw that. So we're up to 25. This is 26. That's 27. So I can drop 6 of these off and not use them. I kind of wish I was traveling to the bauxite during the day. It might make it a little bit easier, but I feel like the curse of no wind is going to hit me as soon as I walk away from this project. How is our steel bash going? 93%. In that case, I might not want to leave the base for bauxite until I can fire up the second batch. Yeah, so I'll probably do base tasks, making the refractory grates if I need replacement grates, and making the mortar and stuff like that, so that I can fire up the second batch of steel without delay. Because if I'm, all the way across the map mining bauxite, obviously I can't really manage that. Yes, also repairing the furnace will tell me exactly what my requirements for the second furnace will be. You are correct about that. Because damage to the furnace after a batch of steel is obviously variable. I could get lucky and it could be like, 5 pieces that need replacing, or I could get unlucky and it could be 10. And anything in between, so that needs to be known first, I think. So only have 3 more blooms to work after this one. It's pretty good. I've seen people's screenshots of like having meteoric iron or steel ingots like stacked to the ceiling. I'm always impressed by that, provided it's like not creative moded in. 'Cause that's a lot of time. I don't know about you guys, but I am honestly quite pleased that the Resonance Archive requires a boat of some sort. I was so worried that I was going to the effort of making a boat and then it wouldn't be needed, and it would have been a waste of my time. So the fact that it's like, nope, you need a boat. It's like, oh, thank God. You want to see the elk? Oh, me too. And the good news is, the preliminary poll for next month just got released today, and Vintage Story is at the top of that poll. So Vintage Story will not be dropping off as a potential thing to vote on weekly, which is pretty good. Okay, I think that is all of the charcoal I'm going to need for this batch. So I'm putting the rest away. So we're down to 135 charcoal, or black coal, sorry. I'm definitely going to want more, mining up more, but we do have some known. I've got 2 coal sites up there that still have material left. So has anyone seen 2 traders like on top of one another like that before? I was really surprised I got there and I was like, what the hell's going on? Because those 2 traders were like merged their caravans. Definitely unexpected. $95. Yeah, I definitely need to stick around. I'm not sure if the server time-elapsing speed changes the steelmaking speed, like how many in-game hours it takes. I really couldn't find a lot of information about the in-game server timer and its effects on farming or anything that, you know, takes a while. For those that are wondering why I reference that, I did try to set up the series so that every stream represents about an in-game week, so that every week I stream this, a week in-game also passes. And that way, IRL time and in-game time, the passage of time is roughly the same, which is why it's February 3rd in-game. And, you know, it's not quite February 3rd IRL, but it's close. Okay, so that is all done. I could probably pull this. We don't have to listen to it clang. Given that I have good wind, the smartest next thing for me to do is to get quartz. Because I don't have to go too far away from the base to pulverize quartz. And that way I can come back here before the steel batch is done. There's quartz even, like, inside of my own mountain that I live in. But I'm not even going to go to the silver spot. I don't want to mine out holes inside the mountain that I live in, because it will encourage drifters to spawn even closer to my base. So I'll just go to the nearest quartz that I know about. Yeah, I've seen some documentation that discusses the passage of time as it relates to server time, but like I wasn't really sure the ramifications. Like if in-game time is doubled, is farming yields doubled, right? You know, is the time to make steel doubled, or will it take, you know, 10 in-game... Well, I'm going to make numbers up. But, like, normally, let's say if it takes 10 in-game hours to make steel, if you double the amount of time, you know, so that a week in Vintage Story is doubled, does steel making double? Right? Like, there's a lot of ramifications of playing with the time controls, which I could not find answers to. Because I was really curious. It's like, oh, man, so if I extend in-game time to try to match up with IRL, am I significantly changing a lot of the other game mechanics that I've become familiar with? I probably shouldn't have done this, but I did, for whatever reason, want to match up real-time and in-game time roughly with one another, so I did it anyway, even though I knew it was a bit of a risk. I have food bowls on me. In fact, let's eat one now. Oh, I wasn't hungry enough for the full bowl. Oops, still dry. You know, I just realized this quartz is not as close as I thought it was. Conglomerate? Okay, that's definitely not a meteorite. I'm sure there was quartz closer. And the little holes I was digging was just checking for meteoric iron. If there were meteor strikes around there. Alright, so the quartz is around here, huh? Yes, I can see it right in front of me. I do have a bunch of clear quartz that I could crush up. I just want to leave the clear quartz alone, but since I already have more than a stack of clear quartz and it's very unlikely that I make a ton of windows out of it, maybe I'll also crush up a little clear quartz as well for the refractory bricks. Clear quartz is easy enough to find. I don't need to treat it as like particularly special. So I'm probably only here for maybe a stack or two of quartz. Maybe a little bit more. I don't need a ton of it, I don't think, in order to get the second refractory furnace going, and I don't want to spend a ton of time out here. Because I know that steel batches have just about done. Oh, I remember that, yeah, there's a bit of a gravel there. You know, one setting I've never played on is the, like, wilderness survival setting, where gravity is cranked up to, like, 11, where, like, mining tunnels and the cave-ins, and you have to build support beams. I've always been a little intimidated by how complex that might be, and getting it wrong can cause you to get crushed to death or whatever. So I haven't tried that setting, but I've always been a little interested in how much that changes the base game mechanics. Maybe I can go until my pick breaks. Another thing that shouldn't be ignored, and I'm likely to probably get a fair bit of gears from going to the Resonance Archive itself, but at some point, especially once I have a decent set of armor, it might make sense to try to intentionally go for gears and acquire a bunch of gears so that I can actually purchase the elk. Well, I could get stone for coffin. Yeah, true. Well, I almost have the 2 stacks of quartz on me already. So let's get the coffin stone then, huh? Smart. So for that, I need 6 full blocks, and then the lid takes 1, so 8 full blocks. I don't think I have any back at the base. We haven't fixed up the translocator because I didn't end up having the metal scrap. I haven't farmed the locusts for it. So we could consider doing that, but I highly doubt it's going to take us close to the res archive, so it might be more effort than it's worth. 5. Six. 7. That's conglomerate. 8. Okay, cool. Pick's still intact, so I'm just going to mine quartz until it breaks. So after a little digging through the VS Wiki, you found the day length settings only affect how long the day is. The patches of time in-game and things that take time is not affected by server settings unless modified. So the default VS day is 48 minutes or 2 minutes per in-game hour. Okay. Yeah, because I didn't affect the daytime hours. What I did was how many days are in a month or whatever the details say. What did I even say? I figured exactly the changes I made. But I didn't change I didn't modify. I only modified like how many, I think it was days that are in a month to match up with IRL time passage. And none of the other settings. So 20 days to a month instead of like, what, 12, I think? Just break already. One durability. Alright, here we go. Okay. Pick's broken. I've got my quartz to crush. And my guess is the steel batch is probably done back home. $20 instead of $9. Okay, that's what it is. I forgot what the default settings were. Don't have them memorized. I heard a wolf. Whoop. One thing I should get in the habit of is just poking my head into these kind of like pitfalls, because sometimes you can find saltpeter easily by just like looking down them, because saltpeter is a material that looks like snow that coats the lining of cave walls. The reason why I don't have any saltpeter or a bunch of the other oh yeah, this was an old meteorite strike. A bunch of the other materials like that is I just up until this stream haven't really had the armor to go spelunking anywhere dangerous, because most of the time saltpeter forms at lower levels where you're going to be facing slightly harder enemies. Same with sulfur and some of the other fertilizer and crafting blasting bomb crafting materials. So in the name of not getting absolutely massacred ganked by mobs, I've played it pretty safe and not gone too deep. Seems like the wind... No, the wind's still spinning. So if the steel is done, maybe what I'll do is I'll hammer out steel chain pants instead of pulverizing the quartz. If because it does look like the wind's cooperating, which is great. And then I'll have some steel clothing. And I could also make myself a steel pick and a steel fox as well. Do some big damage. Oh, hello. Walked right into that. I'm surprised I'm not being swamped by monsters. Rift activity is only medium. Which doesn't mean much when it's already in your backyard. No, I don't want the quartz. Standing too close to the pulverizer. Alright, steel. Are you done? Yes. 'Tis done. I'm gonna break it just so that I don't like burn to death trying to get the steel out. Because, yeah, it would kind of suck to get burned to hell. Okay, current priority. Make steel pants. And then we'll see where we go from there. I want to put away some of the stuff I've got. But yeah, first steel, I am excited. So in terms of what broke, as you can see, like damaged refractor bricks, that broke, this broke, that broke. Some breaking over there. It's very obvious. You know what I might want to do is, wait, it gave me charcoal back? That seems wrong to me. What I was going to say is before I, start making the pants, I should just start another batch because I have the materials and I don't really want to delay any. But why did it give charcoal back? So 8 tiles are damaged. Okay. What we do is we mine them up. We can get some bricks out of it. The charcoal is left in the cop. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I'm just... Isn't it supposed to be used up in the process? Damage here. 2 tiles are damaged, 4 are missing. What is damaged? Is it down here? Yep. I'm a little worried that the bricks I mine here are going to go bye-bye. No, they didn't. Good. Where is the last damage? Oh, okay. It's fine now. Cool. So 5 blocks are missing or wrong. Yeah, at least I don't have to make charcoal anymore? Yeah, I know. It's just, I'm really confused as to why that happened. Done. And that's all set. Cool. So I have to deal with the blister steel in a minute. I will just stack this up for now. So we want charcoal and iron. There's my iron. My charcoal was in here. Alright, let's get this fired up. And fortunately, the coffin that you use, like, doesn't get damaged, even though you mine it. Okay, ready to be fired. Put the charcoal away, grab my anthracite, because I don't want to use the charcoal for the firings. You've always gotten most of it back? Maybe I have too. I mean, I haven't made steel in like a very long time, so I could just be remembering incorrectly. That is maybe the most logical answer. And let's make sure all's well. Receives heat, 0%. All right, second batch is going. So, if you're wondering about blister steel, once you have blister steel, is obtained via the steelmaking process and must be refined on an anvil to turn it into steel. Oh, right, I forgot that clear quartz doesn't go through in the same process. Okay, let's put the clear quartz away. And now we have a whole bunch of regular quartz ready. Okay, perfect. Seems like the wind is very, very cooperative. What was I doing? Firing up the blister steel. So the plan is to make pants. You guys voted for that, so I am committed. So I'll make myself a nice shiny pair of pants. And then we can go get the bauxite. Yes, one side would light the other side, but like I just light it myself, just to get it faster. Oh, this is exciting. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Frostlands, which originally streamed live on Twitch January 30th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs.